So it's a pleasure. Thank you for the invitation and for the Women's Press to really bring us together, especially in these difficult times where I feel that we really need these opportunities, not only to share our thoughts, but to really recruit help, because we really need that. We need to go beyond kind of the conversation into the action that we need. Nobody calls things for what they are. Everybody's talking about disparities, but there is no action. Without those stories, without those perspectives, without that strength, we cannot think about solidarity, and we cannot really conclude that we have this shared power and this progressive solidarity.
We don't have to decide, right? That's what intersectionality means, that we're looking at all the pieces of the puzzle and figuring out how do we connect to all the pieces of the puzzle, not just our one little safe piece. Right? And society has taught us to just focus on that one piece, but society is wrong.
So part of what we're talking about is how do we find common ground around these fundamental values? And the challenge here is that these things are heartfelt, right? Yeah. And deeply held. You know, we who agree with you are going, Because inside, if you're like me, you might be boiling a little bit, right? Or maybe more than a little bit, right?
I chose to become a lobbyist after many years of doing advocacy and spending time at the Capitol because I am today the only woman of color, well, the only person of color contract lobbyist in the state of Minnesota. As long as I remain the only lobbyist of color, conversations at the Capitol will not change.
Legislators say over and over again it's so important to hear from people of faith about progressive issues connected to our faith, because they so often hear from the other side. I'm pro-choice because of my faith, not in spite of it. That carries some weight with a pro-choice legislator who is looking to say, not one side owns the narrative around faith.
Have a story, because stories are so compelling to legislators to hear how, you know, water issues have personally impacted your life. Only a handful of people can make a significant change in how your legislator looks on an issue.
And I realized that this is what they didn't want us to know, that it's so easy to connect with your legislators, especially if you are a constituent. Because, and I have a constituent who is known for making really racist remarks, who is known for being extremely homophobic. And so when I went into his office, I was like, he's not going to listen to me, but well, let's go anyways. And I went in and I said, hey, I live in your neighborhood, and I'm a survivor of sexual violence, and this is why this is important to me. And he co-authored the bill.
Wow.
That is the impact of going and meeting with your legislators. That is like grassroots lobbying at its finest, right?
You might think you're just one voice, but if you use and exercise that voice, it really is more powerful than you think.